I, 28M, never thought I'd be posting something like this, but I'm desperate for advice. This whole mess started about 6 months ago. For context, I run a small but successful tech startup that recently got a decent round of funding. I'm not a millionaire by any means, but I'm doing all right financially. I met Vanessa, 25F, at a friend's house party last year. She was stunning, confident, and seemed genuinely interested in my work. We hit it off immediately and started dating. Things moved pretty fast, maybe too fast in hindsight. She was unlike anyone I'd ever dated before, adventurous, spontaneous, always suggesting expensive restaurants and weekend getaways. I was head over heels and didn't think twice about it. We were always careful about protection, or so I thought. About 3 months into our relationship, Vanessa told me she was on birth control, so we occasionally got less careful. Big mistake. I know. I should have been more responsible. Last month, she showed up at my apartment unannounced, eyes puffy from crying. She told me she was pregnant and showed me the positive test. I was shocked but tried to stay calm. We sat down and discussed options. I told her I would support whatever decision she made, though I admitted I wasn't ready to be a father. She seemed understanding but distant. For the next week, things were tense between us. She was emotional, which I attributed to hormones and the stress of the situation. Then last Friday, everything changed. She came over again, but this time she was different. Cold, calculating. She sat across from me at my kitchen table and said, "I've decided what I want to do." I expected her to talk about keeping the baby or terminating the pregnancy. Instead, she slid her phone across the table. On the screen was her bank app with the transfer page open, ready for a deposit of $1 million. "What is this?" I asked, completely confused. "This is what it's going to cost you to make this go away," she replied with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. I laughed, thinking it was some weird joke. "Vanessa, what are you talking about?" "I'm not joking. Either you transfer the money, or I go to the police tomorrow and tell them you forced yourself on me. That's how I got pregnant." My blood ran cold. "That's insane. We've been dating for months. I would never." "It doesn't matter what's true," she cut me off. "What matters is what I can make people believe. I have texts from me asking you to stop, which you conveniently never replied to. I have photos of bruises from an unrelated accident that I can say you caused." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The woman I thought I loved was threatening to destroy my life, my reputation, and my company with false accusations unless I paid her $1 million. "You have 1 week to get the money," she said, standing up. "And don't even think about going to the police. Who do you think they'll believe? The pregnant victim or the rich tech bro?" She left, and I've been panicking ever since. I can't sleep, can't eat. I don't have $1 million liquid, nowhere close. Even if I did, giving in to blackmail seems like the beginning of a never-ending nightmare. What the hell do I do now? After Vanessa left that night, I spent hours researching extortion laws and false accusations. Then I called my cousin who's a lawyer in another state. He couldn't represent me officially, but his advice was invaluable. Document everything. Don't communicate with her except in writing, and most importantly, do not pay her anything. The next morning, I contacted a local attorney who specializes in criminal defense. I emptied most of my savings for the retainer, but it was worth every penny. He advised me to go to the police first and file a report about the extortion attempt, but warned me it would be my word against hers unless I had evidence. That's when I remembered something crucial: my home security system. I had installed cameras in my living room and kitchen after a break-in last year. I checked the footage, and there it was, her entire extortion attempt captured with clear audio. My lawyer's face when I showed him the video was priceless. We immediately took the footage to the police and filed a report. They were hesitant at first, exactly as Vanessa had predicted, but the video evidence was impossible to ignore. They said they would investigate but couldn't make any promises. 3 days passed with no word from Vanessa or the police. Then she texted me, "Time's running out. Have you made a decision?" Following my lawyer's instructions, I replied, "I need to see you in person to discuss this. Can you come to my place tomorrow at 7? She agreed, seemingly confident she had me cornered. Before she arrived, the police set up recording equipment in my apartment. 2 detectives waited in my bedroom. The plan was simple: get her to repeat her demands on record. When she arrived, I played the part of a defeated man. "I've been trying to figure out how to get the money," I told her, "but I can't liquidate that much without raising red flags." "That's not my problem," she said coldly. "If you can't get the full amount, I'll take $500,000 now and the rest in monthly payments. But if you miss a payment, I'm going straight to the police with my story. And if I pay, this all goes away? You'll tell the truth about the pregnancy?" She laughed. "There is no pregnancy. I faked the test. Did you really think I'd ruin my body for this?" That confession was the final nail in her coffin. The detectives emerged from the bedroom, and the color drained from her face. They arrested her on the spot for extortion. The aftermath has been messy. Vanessa was released on bail pending trial. Her family, whom I'd never met during our relationship, reached out to me begging to drop the charges, saying she has mental health issues. Her father, an apparently wealthy businessman, even offered to pay me damages if I would withdraw my complaint. My lawyer advised against it, saying that if I accept money, it could be twisted around in court to make it look like I was the one extorting them. Besides, I don't want money. I want justice and to make sure she can't do this to someone else. My reputation has taken a hit anyway. Though I've been careful not to spread details, rumors travel fast in our social circle. Some mutual friends have taken her side, claiming I must have done something to make her desperate enough to attempt extortion. Others have stood by me, but I can feel the sideways glances, the unasked questions. The startup is suffering too. One investor pulled out after hearing disturbing rumors about my personal life. My co-founder is supportive but concerned about the company's image. I've been seeing a therapist to deal with the anxiety and betrayal. It's hard to process how someone I trusted could fabricate such horrible lies. The thought that I could have been facing false assault charges, possibly prison time, keeps me up at night. It's been 6 months since my last update, and I'm finally ready to share how this nightmare concluded. The legal process was slower and more draining than I ever imagined. 2 months after her arrest, Vanessa's case went to court. Her defense was shocking. She claimed our entire relationship had been transactional from the start, that I had agreed to pay her for companionship and more, and that I was retaliating because she wanted to end our arrangement. Her lawyer painted me as a desperate, controlling tech executive who used money to manipulate women. Thankfully, the evidence spoke for itself. Besides the video of her extortion attempt, I had hundreds of text messages showing a normal relationship, photos of us at family gatherings, and testimonies from friends who knew us as a couple. Most damning was her confession about faking the pregnancy. The prosecution obtained her medical records confirming she had never been pregnant. 3 of my previous girlfriends courageously testified about my character. Even my college ex, with whom I'd had a messy breakup years ago, came forward to state I had always been respectful. The turning point came when one of Vanessa's former roommates contacted the prosecutor. She testified that Vanessa had bragged about her foolproof plan to extract money from me, showing text messages where Vanessa had described me as her winning lottery ticket. She revealed this wasn't Vanessa's first attempt at such a scheme. She had tried something similar with a previous boyfriend, though not as elaborate or for as much money. The jury found Vanessa guilty of extortion and filing a false police report. She was sentenced to 18 months in prison, 3 years probation, and mandatory counseling. The judge was particularly harsh, noting that false allegations damage the credibility of genuine victims. As for me, I've been working to rebuild. My startup survived, though we had to take a smaller second round of funding than anticipated. My co-founder stood by me through everything, working double time when I had to be in court. I'll never forget that loyalty. The most unexpected development came from an investor who followed the case. Impressed by how I handled the crisis, he not only increased his investment, but connected me with his network. Anyone who can stay level-headed through something like that has the right temperament for the startup world, he told me. Personally, I'm still recovering. I've had trouble trusting new people, especially potential romantic partners. My therapist says that's normal and will take time to overcome. I've focused on strengthening relationships with family and longtime friends who supported me unconditionally. I've also become involved with an organization that supports victims of false accusations. While these cases are rare compared to actual assaults, they do happen, and the damage can be life-altering. I'm helping them develop resources for people facing similar situations. The most important lessons I've learned. 1. Document everything in relationships. Those texts and photos I saved innocently ended up being crucial evidence. 2. Home security systems aren't just for break-ins. That footage literally saved my life as I knew it. 3. Don't face legal threats alone. Professional guidance is worth every penny. 4. Take care of your mental health. Without therapy, I might have made impulsive decisions that could have worsened the situation. 5. Character and integrity matter. The reputation I had built over years gave people reason to believe me when it counted most. For those who followed my story and offered advice, thank you. To anyone facing false accusations or extortion, document everything. Seek professional help immediately, and remember that the truth has power, even when it takes time to prevail. I'm closing this chapter of my life now. There's a new investment round coming up. I've started dating again, very cautiously. And for the first time in almost a year, I'm excited about the future.